Russian military forces received a devastating blow as a group of advanced artillery units were wiped out by a strategic Ukrainian attack using American-supplied howitzer weapons. Kremlin forces suffered a critical loss in an attack by the Ukrainian 81st Airmobile Brigade. A group of Russian 2S-3 akatsiya units were devastated by a strategic attack from Ukrainian military forces against Vladimir Putin's invaders. Video footage from Ukraine has shown craters in the ground following the attack, alongside the remains of a collection of Russian artillery vehicles. The Ukrainian military brigade responsible for the destruction made effective use of U.S.-provisioned M777 howitzer weaponry to attack the Kremlin's military. America has officially pledged to provide the Ukrainian defense with 108 155mm M777 howitzers along with 90 tactical vehicles to tow this weaponry. In addition, the U.S. has agreed to supply over 220,000 155mm artillery rounds to be used by the ground forces operating the howitzers. In several U.S. Department of Defense statements throughout June, America steadily increased the provision of howitzer weaponry as the artillery proved to suit the needs of the Ukrainian defense. President Zelensky has thanked U.S. officials for the provision of military aid as he said he was grateful for the American package of support and asserted that advanced weaponry such as the howitzer ground-towed units were especially important for our defense. By comparison, the Kremlin is reportedly struggling to maintain adequate supply of artillery to the frontline invading forces in Russia's absence of international alliances. According to intelligence from the conflict, Putin's forces have been recorded operating increasingly outdated equipment as military supplies grow sparse. The 2S-3 akatsiya units destroyed in the video are Soviet self-propelled guns which first entered service in the 1970s. The Kremlin has reportedly grown increasingly reliant on dated Soviet weaponry to pursue the conflict as Russian military forces have struggled to establish reliable supply routes from Moscow. The UK Ministry of Defense has warned Russia's reliance on outdated weapons could result in further Ukrainian civilian casualties as missile strikes and other attacks become less accurate in the absence of modern systems. A strike on the Ukrainian Kremenchuk shopping mall on Monday resulted in the death of at least 20 civilians as confirmed by Governor Dmytro Lunin. An intelligence report said, "There is a realistic possibility the missile strike on the Kremenchuk shopping center on June 27, 2022 was intended to hit a nearby infrastructure target." Russia's shortage of more modern precision strike weapons and the professional shortcoming of their targeting planners will highly likely result in further civilian casualties. Oryx, a Dutch open-source organization specializing in the analysis of warfare, has confirmed significant Russian losses of military equipment. By verifying artillery through video and photo evidence from Ukraine, Oryx reports the Kremlin has lost 4,507 pieces of military equipment and vehicles since the outbreak of the war. Included within this figure, Moscow has lost 807 tanks, 459 armored fighting vehicles, and 913 infantry fighting vehicles, alongside other equipment. By comparison, the same data source suggests the Ukrainian military has only lost 1,197 pieces of equipment and vehicles in addition to being strengthened by the provision of foreign military aid. Ukrainian artillery also takes out Russian vehicles after paratrooper reconnaissance. Images released by Ukrainian military officials reportedly show how artillery took out Russian military vehicles after conducting reconnaissance with paratroopers. The footage shows what appears to be a farmhouse with a group of vehicles surrounding it and somewhat camouflaged by dugouts. The area appears to be repeatedly hit, with smoke rising into the air as the footage ends. It is unclear where exactly the images were filmed, but they were obtained Tuesday from the command of the assault troops of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, along with a statement saying, "Artillery units of the air assault troops of the Armed Forces of Ukraine continue to destroy the Russian occupiers."
Hold on.